now we will create our new view called thanks. And we're gonna redirect from the post to the thanks view. So I'm gonna go to views, home. I'm gonna right click, add new view, a view called thanks. Empty, don't use layout, click on add. So here's our new view. I'm just gonna add one line of HTML to this view called thank you. And let's go back to our home controller. And now view will no longer redirect to the RSVP form. So we have to send a parameter here. We have to say, what's the name of the view that we're going to be redirecting to? It's the thanks view. So let's run this and see how it goes. Okay, so here's the main view. I'm going to go to the form. I'm going to say John Smith and John and 222. And he will be going submit RSVP, and now we see the thank you. But what if we want to make the thank you a little bit fancier to show the name of the person that he or she will be attending or not, and showing a link to where the user can see the list of people who will attend the party. So let's close this. So for us to be able to link the thanks view to the guest response, we have to go at the very top and say at model, and we have to link to the party invites.models.guest response. We have to link to the response, and now we can use something like this. We can say at if, and we are using Razor syntax here, and you're gonna get to know more about Razor syntax a little bit later. But if, then you can say model dot will attend, and we're gonna check if whether or not will attend is true. If will attend is true, then we're gonna do something here. We're gonna show a message, something like this. It's great that you're coming because will attend is set to true. But then we can also have an else statement, and we can show a different message. I'm just gonna say at colon, and I'm gonna say a different message. I'm gonna say sorry to hear that you cannot make it. The other thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mention in the header, in the heading, I'm gonna mention the person's name. I'm gonna say thank you at model.name. I'm gonna say, thank you, John. And I'm gonna test, I'm gonna say the message, and let's see how this goes. Let's try to run this again. Let's click there. Let's fast forward this. Yes, I'm gonna submit. And we have a problem. Here's why. It's complaining that the model has no information here because we missed one step. So I'm gonna close this, and we're gonna go back to the controller because we called thanks view, but we did not send the data to the thanks view. So we have to say thanks, which is the view, and then we have to send the model. The model is this one here. The data for the model is the guest response. So again, I'm just modifying the HTTP post RSVP form to send the guest response data to the thanks view. I'm gonna run this again. I just fast forward this. I'm gonna submit again. And now I can see, thank you, John Smith. It's great that you're coming. Drinks are ready in the fridge. Great, awesome. Now we have our proper thank you page. Now, what we're gonna be doing is, we're gonna be linking the thank you page to another view which will show the list of responses. So, we are going to create another action in our controller called list responses. So it will be a public view result called list responses, and the implementation will be just returning for now the view, the default view. So because we're returning a default view, it has the same name, it has to be the same name as the action, so it's called list responses. I'm gonna use this as the name of our new view. So I'm gonna add view list responses. I'm gonna click on add, and this is where we're gonna list all the responses. Now we have to link the list of responses to a new model. The model now will not be just one guest response, but the entire list of guest responses that have answered yes to the form. So I'm gonna say that model I enumerable, and the type is exactly what we have in the repository. We have the guest response. Now we have to define, we have to put the location using the full namespace. So party invites dot models dot guest response. So we are linking the list of responses to this list here that we're gonna send as the model for this view. Now, where are we sending this list here? Well, we have to send this from the controller. So we have to go back to the controller, and here when we call the view, we have to send the entire list of responses filtered by only the ones that are set to will attend equals true. So we have to do a little bit of filtering here. So we have to send to the view the following model, the following data. We have to call the repository dot responses, which will have the list of responses, dot. Now we have to do some filtering here. We have to do a where. We have to use a link expression here. So we have to say where, and I can say r as response, r dot will attend equals to true. So with this, it will filter only the responses that have will attend equals to true. So only the positive responses. So we are sending this model to our list of responses. So let's go back there to our list view. At the top, let's just say responses as the title of this view. And we're going to be using just a h1 tag where that says here is the list of people attending the party. We will be using a table to display the information. So we're going to say table, and we're going to set up the header of this table, the head. And this is the first line of the head. We're going to have the name, th name. We're going to have a th for the email, and you're gonna have another column th for the phone number. So here's our head. Now we have to set up the body, the t body of our table. And in the body, you're gonna have each line will be a new attendee, a different RSVP. So I'm gonna say tr, that's a line. And then we're gonna have TD, here we're gonna have the name, and then we're gonna have another TD, another column, TD, not TB, TD, and we have another one for the email, and a third one for, sorry, I'm doing TB again, TD for the phone number. Now, I didn't put any code in here yet, but we have to do some razor coding here. We have to do a loop here, because remember, this is a list. This is an enumerable. This is, you can potentially have multiple answers here. So we're gonna have to use a for each. So for each answer, for each positive answer, we have to loop through this. So I'm gonna say at for each what? For each guest response in this list. So for each party for each party invites.models.guest response. I'm gonna say R in what? In the model. So because the model has the entire list of positive answers to the party. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna open brackets here, I'm gonna close brackets down here, and inside, I'm just gonna put some indentation. I'm gonna say at r.name. See, we are having each guest response as the R in the R object, in the R variable, r.email, and then we have the last one, r.phone. So once again, we're gonna go through the loop. Each positive answer here we're gonna show in our table. I'm gonna save this and we're gonna give this a try. So let's run this. Before we give this a try, we have to go back to our thank you view and we have to create a link to go to the list view. So we have to put something like this. Click here to see who's coming. Let's add this inside a paragraph tag so we can have a line break. Now click here. We have to make this a link. So we have to say A, and then we have to close here. But now this link, we can use the ASP-action, and you can say equals to what? What is the name of the action that calls the list responses? It's called list responses. One thing that I want to make clear is that when you say action is list responses, you are not linking directly to the view. This is actually the action name. So go to the home controller. This is this name here. The action might be linking to the view that has the same name, but again, this is not the name of the view. This is the name of the action. Okay, so we have used here a tag helper to build the link properly for us. So let's give this a try and run it. So I'm about to submit here the first attendee. And now I can see, click here to see who's coming. If I click there, now I can see a little table here, not well formatted, but that's fine, with John Smith information. If I want to add another one, I can go back to home. And I can say RSVP now, and I can say Joe is also coming. His email is joe@gmail.com and 333. And let's say that he's coming as well. Submit RSVP. Let's click there. See, now we have two. What if we try to add one, but the next answer will be negative? Let's say that we try to put myself here and Ederson@gmail.com, and then we have 4444, and now I'm not coming. So I'm submit, I can click here. You see, it's listing the two ones that are going, but as I'm not coming, it's not listing myself. Now, I would like to add a link here in the list view to go back to the home page, so I don't have to, change here manually. So I can just go to our list of responses and I can create a paragraph here at the very end. I can say, click here to go back to the home page. So I can use ASP-action, and I can say index, because I'm going back to the index method, to the index action in the controller. So it goes back there, and I just want to close this. Click here, and I'm gonna close it right there. And if we try again, if I try to submit again, and I click here to see who's coming, now I can click in this other link to go back to the home page. Remember that we are not storing the information yet in the database, it's just in memory. So every time that we close the browser, the information is all gone. Next, we're going to take care of doing validation with the data. We have to check if the name has been filled out, the email, the phone number. So we will be doing validation.